What's up, you guys? It's Didodi. Welcome to Didodi Speak. I'm your host. You know, I've been wanting to talk about a show here for a while that I really like. I've been watching it for a while. It's on season three. Now, I do want to discuss the entire show. I want to talk about the whole show, but I'm not going to try to catch up and get to where we are right now. I'm going to start from where we're at, and then I'm going to go back and go from the beginning. So the show I'm talking about is From, starring Harold Perrineau. He was the guy that was in the wheelchair on Oz, if you remember Oz from back in the day. He was also on Lost, and this show is made by the same people who made Lost. Um, he was the one father, with the kid, and on this show, he is also a father with a son. Uh, and it's about these people who end up in this town that they cannot escape. And at night, they all have to lock themselves indoors because these monsters come out of the woods and start walking around trying to take people out. So the show has been very captivating ever since I started watching it. Man, every episode has been something special. I feel like that first season was so strong, but that's usually the case with a lot of shows because that's the setup for everything. But if you're familiar with the show, then you're already caught up on everything. I want to talk about the current episode. Now, there's going to be spoilers here, so if you're not familiar with the show, you probably want to go and watch the show and then get caught up. And then as you're watching the show, then I'll be going back and talking about some of the earlier episodes so you can watch those videos and then just enjoy them however you can. So right now I'm going to get started with season 3, episode 5. Now, this is where we left off. And if you remember, then everybody that watches the show, they know that Tabitha came back to town. She was uh, the one person who was able to get out somehow. She went through a tree. She ended up at the lighthouse. Little spooky boy showed up, pushed her through a window. She woke up in the hospital, right? She didn't know where she was. She ends up meeting Victor's father. They go looking for another tree, a faraway tree that they call him. And where do they end up? Exactly where I thought they would. You cannot drive, you cannot be in a car in this show. Okay? If you're in a car, you're going to end up in that town. So they end up back in the town, and everybody's shocked that Tabitha's back. She had a couple people with her. Some of them didn't make it. They got killed that night. And then one of the people that do survive is a police officer, and she made a horrible mistake, and the town doesn't like or trust her right now. So her first day is really tough. Then, but Tabitha's back, and she's back with Victor's father. And I thought that the reunion with Victor and his dad was very touching. It was pretty realistic because, this guy is grown and he done made it to where everything outside of this place was a dream to him. The only thing real to him is where he is. And when he finds out his father's in town, he's just reluctant to meet up with him. And you got to kind of understand that. And so when they do meet up, it just is really touching, because he keeps saying, he didn't know how to get home. And you really feeling that because everybody feels the same way. And Victor's been there like the longest. He grew up there. That's horrible. You know what I mean? If you grew up in that place, that's the only life you know. So if you ever did get out, you probably wouldn't go out at night anyway, you know. But then we have Boyd Stevens, my guy. He's the sheriff, right? The main guy of the show. And he's dealing with a lot. And his son is acting like he's trying to tell his son, because now that Tabitha's back and the townspeople are tripping, like, hey, she got out and she didn't even do this and that, and she should have did this and that, whatever, he's trying to keep it all together. But people are flipping out, and he feels like he's not getting enough assistance from like his son or just people around. I mean, his partner was trying to help. Kenny Kenny was being a real help and doing as much as he could, you know. But I mean, the townspeople there are very on edge, and you can understand why. So they just want to get home. They don't care about anything else. So, but one thing I do have a question about is the old lady, because Elgin be having these weird dreams, right? And then we also got Fatima. Something's going on with her baby, and the only thing she could keep down is raw, uh, not just raw, but raw rotten vegetables. And that's crazy. So every time something weird happens, this old lady shows up. She's around. Why? And then she starts reading tarot cards in the last episodes. What was up with that? You know? So I got to watch on her. Something's going on with her. You know, it seemed kind of strange that she's always around. But I felt bad for my boy Randall too. Randall was like, "You left me, you know, you fucking left me." Like, oh man, that was just, oh man, that was wrenching, bro. I was like, oh, this dude been through. I don't even like Randall, bro, but I didn't want to see him go through that. And boy, he really didn't have a choice. You know, that was the previous episode. He had to make that choice. So we're gonna be talking more about From, man. It's a really deep show. It's oh, it just it everything is turned up to 11 on the show. But let's not forget though, Dale. I've been waiting for something to happen to Dale ever since what he did in season 2 with Boyd's son. Now, uh he is a hothead, don't want to listen to nobody. He want to do his own thing, and he telling everybody, "Oh, you can thank me when I send people back to help and all this." So he goes through the faraway tree. Man, the ending of this episode was so unsettling for me, bro. I wanted something to happen to Dale, but damn, I didn't know they was gonna do that to him. That was rough, bro. That was something else, and every episode just make it to where you can't wait for the next one. Like you gotta be like, well, I gotta see them all right now. I need to know what's going on. And I be feeling like, are they still putting this show together as they go, or do they know where they're going? Because there's so many little pieces, and we're trying to figure out how it all comes together. But it's kind of like the character Jade says. He said the same thing. It's like all these pieces to a jigsaw puzzle, but you don't even know where to start. So we're going to talk more about From, but this last episode was heavy, man. What did you think? Did you watch it? Are you watching the show? Are you going to watch the show now that you're hearing about it on this video or what? Look, the show is insane. It's one of my favorite shows. I done watched it multiple times already, and that's why I'm like, I got to talk about it on this channel because y'all who I talk to about movies and stuff. So, yeah, man, we got to talk about this some more. So, and we're going to get into some other shows too. It's a couple other shows that I'm watching out there. So, stay tuned for those. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all listening. Thank you very much. Go ahead and like the video if you like the video. Remember to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and tell your friends to come on over and subscribe too. And share the video where you share videos. And I appreciate y'all, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. You take it easy.